This is a video presentation on order of operations by Mathematically Marcia. We are going to use the word GEMS to help us to remember the 4 steps for solving order of operations. So the G stands for grouping symbols. The most common known or thought of grouping symbol or most used would be parentheses. Of course, that is not the only one. There's also brackets and braces. A fraction bar can act like a grouping symbol. A square root symbol, even a division box can act like grouping symbols. Once we solve inside the grouping symbols, we will move on to exponents. And that's what the letter E stands for, is exponents. After you simplify your exponents, working from left to right, you will do all of the multiplication and division. And you will do those in the order they appear, working from left to right. So as you go left to right, if the division comes first, you do it first. If the multiplication comes first, you do it first. And finally, all that will be left at that point is the subtraction and addition. And this would also be done from left to right. Or you can follow your rules for adding and subtracting integers. So our 4 steps: grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication and division, subtraction and addition. And we do each of those steps working from left to right. Okay, I've got our 4 steps over here in the upper right hand corner to remind us: grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication and division, subtraction and addition. So with this problem, we do have a grouping symbol, so we'll solve inside first. And 7 minus 4 is 3. So that's the only thing that's going to change. So 3 times 3 squared plus 2. My next step would be to do the exponent. So we're going to simplify that. 3 squared is 9. Again, we recopy everything else as it is. Now we do our multiplication. 3 times 9 is 27. The plus 2 does not change. And we're left with addition. 27 plus 2 is 29. Okay, for this next example, we do have parentheses again, our grouping symbol right here. Now within the grouping symbol, we have subtraction and we have multiplication and division. Multiplication comes before subtraction if you look at the steps over there. So we would do that part first. So 3 times 2 is 6. We're going to leave everything else as it is. Each step we're changing one thing. Now to finish the parentheses, we'll do 8 minus 6, which is 2. Again, leaving everything else as it is. Now we don't have any exponents, so we can go to the next step, multiplication and division. As we look from left to right, we do see a division here. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And we bring everything else down as it is. And now we're just left with an addition. 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, for this one, our square root symbol, or a radical, actually acts like a grouping symbol. And within the grouping symbol again, we have multiplication and we have addition. The multiplication comes first, so we will start there with 11 times 2, which is 22. We keep everything else as it is. Now to finish solving in the grouping symbol or the radical, we'll do 3 plus 22, which is 25. Now all we have left to solve is the square root, and the square root of 25 is 5. Because 5 times 5 equals 25, so the square root of 25 equals 5. Now we have a fraction bar that's acting like a grouping symbol. The numerator is a group and the denominator is a group. So the numerator, when we solve that, 5 plus 7 is 12. It's a fraction bar. And the denominator, 3 times 2 is 6. Now our fraction bar can also act as a division. So 12 over 6 can also be rewritten as 12 divided by 6, which is 2. For this example, we have grouping symbols inside of grouping symbols. So we're going to start with this innermost grouping symbol first. 4 minus 1 is 3. And then everything else we bring down exactly as it is. The only thing that changed was the 4 minus 1. Now within the grouping symbol, the next step would be the exponent, because exponents come before multiplication or addition. And then 3 squared would be 9. And again, everything else comes down exactly as it is. Just change one thing at a time. Now, multiplication within the grouping symbol comes before the addition. 2 times 9 is 18. And we again bring everything else down exactly as it was. Now we can finish the grouping symbol by adding 3 plus 18. And technically, at this point, because it's all addition left, associative property says I could have moved that grouping symbol and added in a different order. But we didn't, so let's go ahead and finish. 6 plus 21 would be 27. Let's look at what we could have done with this last step. The 6 plus, and we had 3 plus 18. As I had mentioned, with associative property, the order that you add things doesn't matter. So if we had decided to put 6 plus 3 first and moved it there, 6 plus 3 would be 9 plus 18. 9 plus 18 is 27. So once you get down to all addition, now the order is no longer important. You can switch it up if you need to. Or if by chance you get down to all multiplication, you have the associative property of multiplication, well, you could also do that. Hit subscribe to see more videos like this, and then comment below with your questions, comments, or requests for future videos. Thank you for watching.